Alright guys, so if you've seen my last video, I talked about my little oil-based markers and how much I like them. Well, I had to sit down and do some artwork, as you can see, and I finished it up and I thought, oh, you guys got to see this soon, hopefully. Right? But anyways, I'm excited. I'm just excited because I had so much fun with them. And I just did it on a nice little piece of board, right? And it went really well. You can do it on paper. You can do it on all kinds of different surfaces, which is really nice about this stuff. And then the layering and stuff like that. It's just way too much fun. Way too much fun. So guys, sit back, watch the video. Bell for notification. Subscribe and the like situation. And throw me a comment. I love your comments, folks. Everybody's been sending me so many nice comments. Oh, it feels great. Feels great. So, sit back, watch the video, okay, guys? And have fun. There we are. All right, guys. So, if you have seen my last couple of videos, I've been talking about my oil markers that I've got. And so, I thought that I'm going to sit down and do something. So what I did was, I have a board here that I've painted on and added paint, scraped it off, sanded a little bit and that. So it makes a nice background. And now I'm going to do something with it. Don't know where I'm going to go with it, but we're going to have some fun. So let's see what happens. Hey guys. So this is the drawing that I'm going to do using my ink markers. And, of course, I've decided to do one of those ones where I just sit down and I start to draw. And I thought to myself, well, what I'm going to do here is I'm not only am I going to just keep drawing and adding, and that's what I want to do, is that kind of a drawing where I add a picture, I add a little something more, and use as many colors as I possibly can. Really have a fun time with it. And it definitely it came together nicely. I really enjoyed it. I had drawn in my lines, for this face here, but then there's also times where I think I actually changed it up a bit. So you'll see that as it progresses, you can actually grow with it. What's really nice is the markers themselves. If you make a little bit of a boo-boo, you can kind of cover over top, which is really sweet because, sometimes, you've been doing something for a long period of time and all of a sudden, bang, you make a little mistake and you're like, oh, that just... makes you upset. So what it is, you can keep developing with this. This is what I really like about the markers themselves. The other thing too is I like the bright, gaudy colors. I like that. For this type of a thing, I think it works really, really well. So I just kept on filling in and adding, and like I said, the colors just wicked. Again, I also decided to make it one of my little drawings where things change drastically. And I think that's kind of a little bit of the attention deficit mind of myself, is that, I can only concentrate for so long on something, and then sometimes I have to pop off. Other times I'm like right there. But when I'm drawing like this, it allows me to do that, where it's kind of like, I'm drawing something, I've really enjoyed it for that point, and then I add to it, but it's still the drawing. It's still part of it, but I can go on to another little section. My brain's, popping over there, right? And so I really enjoyed that. And I think I enjoy that when I'm drawing like that type of thing. Now on this one here, I think I kind of went for like a little weird bug and face look. But I don't think it lasted very long before I decided that I changed it. It wasn't going exactly the way I wanted. So like I said, again, you can cover over, right? So you'll notice as I'm drawing this, the back of it kind of has that look like a little buzzing beetle or something like that. And then when I added in the other section to it, I didn't like that bug look about it. It's kind of like, nah, not for me. And again, that's the artist. The artist gets to make the decisions on if they're going to keep a piece in or take it out, right? And then see if it works. So I had this guy kind of waving at you, looking at you, and, had his hand out. And because of that, I didn't like the the way the other part there, little looks like wings or whatever it is on the end of it. So I just wound up going directly right over top of it. And then I added in my other guy here with a nice face. And these are characters that I sometimes do over and over again. They may look slightly different, but they're, kind of a situation where I like to develop them. Now, here's a character, too, that a long time ago I did one like this, but where I had it coming out of the fish's mouth. So there's a big, large fish. And it was because I had a young guy came up to me and asked me if I would do an album cover for him. Now, it wound up, I did the album cover for him, got paid and everything, which was really cool. But the album cover actually didn't go with my album cover. They completely changed it. They made it very, just kind of a straight, just a person's name. And that was it. There was very little artwork on it. But in the actual artwork, I had this big monster fish in there, and as I was drawing the monster fish just for my own fun, I drew the character coming out of the fish's mouth, and I've kept doing that. I like doing it, and I've done quite a few things where I have something eating another creature on top of another creature. I think there's actually one of my other videos, I'm pretty sure that I have done that kind of a drawing and I just like that continuism. Wow, did I just invent a word, continuism? But there you are. It just seems to be one of those things that, you see that, it makes me think of the old story of the lady who ate a fly, and then she keeps eating other stuff, right, to try to get rid of the fly. And by the end of it, she's eating a cow, So I think maybe that story just stuck with me for life. And so I got my dragon here, and he's biting down on this guy, or he's letting him out of his mouth. I don't know, see how this works in my mind. But it, I was coming along. I liked it, and then I just kept adding, and then finally the dragon really developed to where I liked it, and I was happy with myself. And again, I am praising the markers, but I did enjoy them for that particular reason. Is the fact that you can kind of keep adding on top, and that now you can do that when you're painting with a brush, but I like that. Maybe it's a control of how when I work with a marker and I'm exploring with a pen to draw stuff, that I can do that with this stuff too, right? So I like that. Adds another dimension to what I'm doing. It makes me happy. And again, I had my little guy here, the character that was popping out, and he's not sad. He's actually looks like he's smiling, and that because the other characters I've done that, I kind of had them, or they're kind of shocked or something like this. So then I added the hair in here, and I liked it. It was like, ooh, yeah, that's gonna work. And then I just needed to work on the face itself, and it developed, and a body. I do apologize, a little bit of a light problem there. I didn't realize that, and wasn't until I was looking back at it that I was like, oh, geez, that didn't work very well. But I must have noticed it while I was doing it enough that I did change up the light, because all of a sudden you'll be able to see the image a lot better. And yeah, sometimes when you're working with the wood and the paint and stuff like that, it really shines back from the lighting and that. And I probably need to get one of those big round lights that people use all the time that I see. I just haven't got there yet. Yeah, see there, boom. Now we're looking at it so you can actually see it. It's clean. Add a little bit of shadow and stuff like that. Yeah, it turned out really super cool. I was happy with this going on. And then my little character below here, just a little round face, and then a bit of hair. But the funny thing was, while I was doing it, all I could think about was the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? Because remember the little girl that I figured she was eating too many things, or she ate a candy and she turns into this big blue-faced, purple-faced person, right? That goes away a little bit from when I do it, but it kind of made me think of this. Now this one here, this particular drawing here, as I was doing it, I really enjoyed this because I kind of really twisted up the body, and the whole look of it is a little bit more distorted than normal. Normally I would, really try to draw the eyes in so you could actually see them. But this one here, I decided just to go with a really weird design. And the other thing too was that I twisted the arm, so I had it kind of floppy and upside down. And again, I really enjoyed that because it just kind of gave this different look, you know. So I think I've brought myself a new character that I might use in further drawings and paintings and stuff like that. Yeah, see, kind of cool. I like it. Then my little snail up here, and then I was bringing this character in. I wasn't sure at first I was going to do more like a porpoise at one point, and no, it didn't feel right. So I started filling in, but I wasn't even sure then as to where it was going to go. And so I filled it all in, except for that one little hole there. And then I added a face. And all of a sudden it was like, you know what, I don't mind this. Now the thing is with the face, what I like about it is that they're looking at each other, right? So now there's this connection. You know, the one character who's coming out of the dragon's mouth, and then this other character who is kind of looking, kind of like, I like the looks of you, buddy. Even though you're coming out of a dragon's mouth, I like the looks of you. The other thing too is that that character that I liked that I did, it was a bit different. I made that little round thing. It was a ball, but I think at one point I wound up turning it into an eyeball, and I liked that too. I really liked that. It was a lot of fun. The other thing too here is that I had only gone to a certain point with that drawing with the hair. Again, the pens were allowing me to be able to go even farther with it, so that worked out really nice. I was pretty happy with that. And then I added my little witch face kind of a look here. Now what I really like about it is if you look at the dragon and then the face of the witchy kind of face, it looks like she's wearing a hat and that. So again, that became connected, and I really liked that. You know, really kind of brought out a different look. Now this one here, I got to be honest with you, I started drawing it, and when I filled it in, it definitely had that look of a minion. But that's okay. I'm all right with that. And so, yeah, I just kept on going. And yeah, then the hair started to connect with the other character that was coming out of the dragon's mouth. And yeah, I just was really pleased with what was going on there. And then the other thing, too, I really liked about it was I actually used the background paint as the character's actual color of its flesh. And I think that looked really cool, too. So I was pretty darn happy with just about everything that was going on here. And as I say, it's like little individual drawings, but they become all one. And that's fun. I think that's really cool. And that, so, as I say, over the years, I've done that type of drawing over and over again. You know, and it's one of those ones that I go back to quite often. I find them very relaxing and a lot of fun. And that's basically what, for me, it's always been that case, that I enjoy what I do. It might not be for everybody, but it definitely works for myself, right? And again, that's art, right? We can express, show our feelings and all this kind of stuff, and yet sometimes those feelings come across and people like it, and other times they're just kind of like, oh, okay, that's weird, different. But then again, I've always been a bit different and weird. Yeah, you know what? The minion, I had to change it up a bit so that it didn't look exactly like a minion. Didn't mean that to happen, but it did. So it wound up with a black tongue, and then I added the red paint in there so it came flopping out. Again, brought them together. Thanks, guys, for watching. So there you are, a conjumble of my mind. Kind of like this drawing here, actually. I just looked down here, just didn't realize I was wearing that shirt. But yeah, I love doing that kind of stuff. Just sitting down and saying, okay, what's going to happen? Don't know. And then just keep working and working and working. And then in the end, you get a pretty picture. And you got to love that, right? And yeah, I really got to be honest. I really like where it went. You know, there's so many little things happening. I think I've got to definitely do more of these things than that, because definitely just had a great time doing it. So, actually tonight I'm off to go and draw with my niece. We're going to have a drawing night, and I thought that was just going to be way too much fun. Yeah, so right now, thanks for watching. Remember, be cool like a big bull moose. And remember to wear your pants.